So, one of the things I never got to enjoy much of back in Generation 4's Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver was the many mystery gift and event-based Pokemon, hence why I thought today we would take a look at specifically that. Some of the mystery gifts and events Pokemon in the HeartGold and SoulSilver games that you may have missed and some that you may not even know have actually happened. So let's get started with the video right away. First up has to be one of the Wi-Fi mystery gift Pokemon within Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver. That is actually more than just a singular Pokemon in this case. See, this is a multi-level event, as what it basically does is that it allows you to actually access a way for you to unlock another Pokemon in a different set of Pokemon games. So here's what we're talking about, and it is Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. These were the last Wi-Fi events or Wi-Fi event Pokemon in Pokemon HeartGold and Pokemon SoulSilver. And the best part is that they would actually also be shiny when you got them. But what about the other game access that they would bring? Well, basically, if you get all three of these Wi-Fi mystery gifted Pokemon, or from the GameStop events back in 2010 and 2011, you would then be able to trade these Pokemon over to Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. And this would actually give you access to, at the time, the special Pokemon Zoroark, which was really cool actually. See, the Zoroark you face is at level 25, so it'll basically be easy to catch if you just have a low level Pokemon to beat it. Basically, you can use the legendary beasts that you just sent over if you haven't trained them. However, this battle is not all that it actually seems at first. See, first it looks like it's a human approaching you, but it turns out it's a Pokemon, and it might look like it's one of the legendary beasts at first when you battle it, but after you lower the health to a certain level on this Pokemon, all of a sudden the illusion will disappear, and you will notice that it's a Zoroark after done doing like enough damage. However, I find this to be a really cool event from back in the day, as it actually allows you to cross over from HeartGold and SoulSilver into Black and White, allowing you to enjoy both games and have a fun event that isn't just in a singular game but actually crosses over. That to me is the best sort of events, which allow you to do more than a singular thing to get some cool reward at the end, which I really enjoy. So this is definitely an awesome event from back in the day. Next, we have another Wi-Fi event, and this one is the case of the Enigma Stone, which is a key item in Pokemon HeartGold and Pokemon SoulSilver. Now, what you can do with this item is to actually take it to Pewter City Museum and go to the guy who revives fossils. So if you just get this from the mystery gift event, or the Wi-Fi event rather, after you show the Enigma Stone to this guy though in the Pewter City Museum, he will discover that the item is actually the Soul Dew. And shortly after this, you will actually run into Steven Stone from the 3rd generation Pokemon games, who will show up and he will tell you that the Soul Dew is an incarnation of the souls of Latios and Latias. And once you leave, Latios and Latias will arrive and challenge you, but it all depends on which version you have. See, for SoulSilver, it is Latias, and for HeartGold, it is Latios. And sure, this isn't a very long event within Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver, but it's a pretty neat one. And I like the fact that it is an event for a Wi-Fi Pokemon, but most of the times in recent games, the Wi-Fi event tends to just be going to the Pokemart and being handed the Pokemon. But in this case, you got to do a bit of extra stuff along the way. Too bad that this event ended a decade ago in 2010, but hey, it's a cool event to look back at. However, next we have a mythical event, a Pokemon that unfortunately didn't actually have any sort of cool event attached to it the way the previous one had. However, what we're talking about is a pretty cool event nonetheless that offered us a really cool thing, which is the special 10th anniversary Mew event. Now, for the most part, it is a pretty straightforward event. All you have to do is get it from the Wi-Fi event and then simply just go to the Pokemart and get handed this Pokemon. But what's interesting about this Mew, it's only really level 5 and it has no special moves, but was actually though the first Pokemon to have the Premier Ribbon attached to it. So sure, it is a simple thing to actually get as you just go to the Pokemart, it is handed to you, but I think it's a really cool Mew and I thought it was worth to include in this list as it's just a unique Pokemon in general, and I would have preferred of course a giant event to get it, but hey, I'm happy they gave it away at all. Next though, we have the Spiky-eared Pichu event from Pokemon HeartGold and Pokemon SoulSilver. Now for this event to actually take place, a specific criteria has to be met, and this criteria is specifically that you need to first have a Pikachu colored Pichu, which can't be received anymore, but used to be receivable back in 2009 and 2010 in Pokemon Diamond Pearl and Platinum. And for you to get the Spiky-eared Pichu event to happen, you need to first get the Pikachu colored Pichu. So for the sake of the video, let's say you managed to get one. Well, next you need to take your Pichu to the Ilex Forest for the event to take place. When you go by Celebi's Shrine in the Ilex Forest with your Pichu colored Pichu, it will cause Spiky-eared Pichu to appear. There's a lot of Pichus in this video. You can still do this event if you evolve your first Pichu into a Pikachu. It's still doable, so don't worry about that. However, after the two Pichus play with each other for a bit of time, you will then have the Spiky-eared Pichu join your party. And this will actually be pretty cool, as this is a fully unique Pokemon that you will be unable to get by any other means, but what it also offers is an extra event. See, you won't be able to evolve it, and there is a reason for this actually. Now, if you take the Spiky-eared Pichu to Professor Elm and have it at the start of your party or at the front of your party, and it's following you, he will tell you the backstory of this little Pichu. Now, Professor Elm will say that Professor Oak had apparently recently, he had actually discussed with Professor Oak about specifically Celebi's time travel ability, and that this little Pichu will actually prove his theory. See, the Spiky-eared Pichu arrived in this time through the Ilex Forest, through time traveling with Celebi, which explains why it cannot be traded and why the trainer needs to take care of it. In addition to that, all the time traveling it has done has basically caused its body to stick in its current state. Professor Elm then goes to contact all the Pokemon Center attendees to prevent the Spiky-eared Pichu from being used in in-game trades, as I guess it really wouldn't work for it, as it's technically speaking a time-traveling Pichu, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And this is what makes me love this event. The fact that it has this whole backstory to it on top of that, like on top of it being like a cool little Pokemon that's unique in itself, it also has a really cool backstory which just adds the general lore of these games. And remember, this is just an event Pokemon. Like they really put a lot of extra effort into it, which they didn't need to, but it makes me love this event even further. Now, I can't do a video about event Pokemon in Pokemon HeartGold SoulSilver and not include one of the largest and best events that unfortunately barely anyone got to enjoy. Now, we are of course talking about the Sinjoh Ruins event from Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver. Now, for this event to take place, you need to first trade over an Arceus from Diamond and Pearl or Platinum to your HeartGold and SoulSilver version. Now, of course, this is a little bit difficult as you can't really properly get one, but either way, let's continue. Now, once you've done this, you gotta take your Arceus to the Ruins of Alph to later activate the special event for the Sinjoh Ruins, which will kind of make them appear. Now, you will then meet up with Cynthia from the Sinnoh region, and she will explain to you that Arceus has got the ability to create newborn Pokemon, or brand new Pokemon basically, and just create them out of nothing. Out of the three options you will be given basically is the choice to create three possible Pokemon, that being Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina. You have to make the choice, and after making it, a strange event occurs as the whole screen goes weird and Arceus decides to show you a bunch of images from Google. Seemingly, that makes no sense. Now, then you will be handed the Pokemon you've chosen, and it will always be at level 1 and have the two same moves on it, which is Dragon Breath and Scary Face, and this goes for all the three options. A strange event, I must say, which makes you question what the deal with the Sinjoh Ruins is, and also what the context of the Ruins of Alpha is. But also something you have to keep in mind is that this event is really not even doable unless you can get your hands on an Arceus, which you can only do by hacking one in. But on top of that, if you actually were able to get a legitimate Arceus and an Azure Flute and all that, if you're somehow able to get that legitimately back in the day, which you weren't because there was no distribution of it, you would then also be able to trade over a legitimate one, maybe from Diamond and Pearl Platinum, and then eventually you could, technically speaking, get your hands on two of these Pokemon. So you can actually, you could technically speaking summon two of these Pokemon and do this event twice. So if you get Dialga, you can go get Palkia or Giratina the next time. It's pretty strange, but also pretty cool in my opinion. But either way, this is all for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, let me know in the comments down below. Today, we also have a real goal in terms of like goals for this video, which is 800 likes. If we reach those 800 likes, then you can expect a part 2 to this specific video, and also more videos about mystery gift Pokemon and event Pokemon from other Pokemon games that you may have forgotten about or missed or never got to enjoy. So if you want to see videos on that, hit the like goal. And again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you all the next time.